Look at the sheer volume of these pepper plants. Yield, volume. We achieved this massive harvest without a single drop of synthetic fertilizer. Instead, the engine driving this explosive growth is a strange, cloudy liquid. Suppose you could harvest the most powerful biology on Earth for free, using nothing but a handful of cooked rice. Modern agriculture has a massive dependency problem. We are told to buy endless bottles of nitrogen and expensive soil inoculants to keep our plants alive. But these commercial inputs are highly inefficient. It is an industrial supply chain designed to drain your wallet. What if we could bypass that system entirely? The corporate world knows how valuable soil biology is, yet commercially purchased soil inoculants frequently fail to establish themselves because they are not adapted to the buyer's local environment. They are generic solutions poured into complex, localized soils, destined to fail against wild native conditions. This is where we look to historical resilience. The rice burying technique originates from Korean natural farming, KNF, an agricultural methodology pioneered and popularized by Master Cho. Master Cho realized that the ultimate biological fertilizer already exists in your local woods. It just needs to be captured. The term IMO stands for indigenous microorganisms. As Growing for Market explains, this term is used to refer to microorganisms, primarily fungi and bacteria, that the farmer has collected from his or her own farm, as opposed to buying them in a bottle. Wild harvested IMOs are naturally resilient to the specific climate and soil conditions of the farm. Store-bought microbes simply cannot compete. Microbe survival rate. Local indigenous microbes will always outcompete foreign strains. It is an unbreakable biological law, and capturing them is surprisingly simple. We start by hunting for the ultimate wild biology. We are looking for an environment that has thrived for decades without human intervention. Farmers optimize the collection by targeting undisturbed woodland areas. We need a spot near trees that has not been disturbed by foot traffic or heavy chemical runoff. Carefully pull back the top layer of decaying leaf litter. You are looking for a very specific visual indicator. Search for active and visible white mycelium webs within the decaying leaf litter. White mycelium webbing in dark soil. This white webbing is the fungal network digesting the forest floor. White mycelium. It is nature's perfect recycling engine, quietly breaking down dead plant matter into highly available nutrients. By isolating this specific local fungus, we can transplant the ancient resilience of the forest floor directly into our own garden beds. We just need a biological trap to catch it. We will build that trap out of wood and starch. Take a simple box made from natural materials, like cedar or untreated pine. Fill it 2/3 of the way with hard cooked rice. Cooked rice. The rice acts as a massive carbohydrate battery. It is a pure food source perfectly calibrated to attract the specific local fungi we just found under the leaves. Do not pack the rice down tight. It needs to breathe so the microbes can easily penetrate the layers. Cover the box with a breathable lid to keep out larger debris and animals, while letting the microscopic organisms pass through. Now, nestle the box directly onto the soil surface and bury it entirely under the decaying leaf litter in the undisturbed woodland area we identified. Day 1. The clock starts now. Fast motion burial shows the box disappearing under the forest floor. But before we leave it, there is a counterintuitive biological trick we can use to upgrade and weaponize this culture. Advanced growers customize their cultures by mixing 15 to 20% mealworm frass, insect waste, into the cooked rice. Frass percentage, mealworm frass. Why add insect waste to a fungal trap? Because it pre-selects for an incredible defense mechanism. Frass is packed with chitin. By loading the rice with this material, we force the trap to cultivate specific microbes capable of breaking down chitin. Microbes consume chitin. chitin digestion creates plant defense. When you eventually introduce this biology to your garden, those same chitin-eating microbes will aggressively attack and destroy the exoskeletons of root-feeding insects in your soil. We are effectively turning the fertilizer into a biological control against root-feeding insects. It is closed-loop engineering at its finest. One biological process seamlessly feeds the next, eliminating the need for expensive and toxic pesticides. Let the box sit quietly in the forest earth. Day 5. It is time to uncover our trap. Carefully pull back the dirt and leaves. When you lift the breathable lid, the visual transformation is stunning. The plain white rice is now covered in a thick, aggressive white mycelium net. The biological trap worked flawlessly. The indigenous fungi have successfully colonized the starch, pulling wild biology out of the forest and concentrating it inside our wooden box. You are looking at a hyperdense living ecosystem. This captured state is known as IMO1. But there is a massive, immediate problem we have to solve. This captured fungus is incredibly active. It will burn through its rice food source rapidly and die within days if we leave it like this. We have captured the fungus, but now we must preserve it. This brings us to the second phase of the process, known as IMO2, which requires blending the freshly harvested fungal rice culture with equal parts brown or raw sugar to ferment. Raw sugar. This stabilizes the living microbes so they can be stored long-term. Mix them together meticulously until the sugar coats every inch of the mycelium. The sugar acts through osmosis. It draws the moisture out of the fungal cells and forces them into a dormant, stable state. It ferments the biology. Day 12. As the days pass, the dry sugar and rice mixture physically liquefies into a thick, heavily sweetened dark syrup. We have successfully locked the forest's biological engine into a jar. This fermented syrup is your master culture. To use it, simply extract a small amount of the thick liquid and heavily dilute it in clean, unchlorinated water. It immediately transforms into the cloudy liquid that powers our massive pepper yields. When you drench your soil with this solution, the dormant microbes wake up and rapidly colonize your garden beds. Cloudy liquid. Fermented liquid flows seamlessly into the plant roots. They break down organic matter in the dirt, continuously feeding your crops for free. This self-feeding biological engine renders industrial inputs entirely obsolete. You no longer need to rely on fragile commercial supply chains. You have engineered an infinite, zero-cost fertilizer from nothing but time and forest-inoculated cooked rice. Before we wrap up, here is a crucial preservation step. Store your newly created IMO2 liquid indefinitely by keeping it in a breathable jar, out of direct sunlight. The microbes still need to breathe a tiny amount to survive the fermentation process. Cover the rim with a paper towel or cloth. If you tightly seal it with a glass lid, the built-up pressure will cause the culture to suffocate and fail. Welcome to the escape system. Harness the wild biology of your local woods to replace store-bought bottles and start building your own true blueprint for biological independence today.